Welcome back to my listening channel. I'm Sarah, and today we're diving into English expressions that will make your speech sound more natural. Our first expression is, how come? Jane, how does this differ from the standard why?
Well, how come is a more casual way of asking why. It's often used when you're surprised or curious. For instance, a friend might say, "How come you didn't call?" It feels friendly and less formal.
Interesting. But aren't there situations where how come might be inappropriate, like in formal settings?
Absolutely. In formal contexts, sticking with why is better. Imagine a business meeting. Saying, "How come?" might seem too laid back. Use it in casual chats instead, like with friends or family.
That makes sense. Speaking of which, it reminds me of the expression make sense. Why is it so commonly used in conversations?
Make sense is all about clarity and understanding. When something makes sense, it's logical and easy to grasp. People use it to affirm understanding, like saying, "I get it."
But sometimes we hear, that doesn't make sense. Is it just a polite way to express confusion?
Exactly. It's a gentle way to indicate something isn't clear. Instead of saying, "I don't understand," you might say, "That doesn't make sense." It's less confrontational.
All right, let's transition to another expression. How about without fail? What's the significance behind this phrase?
Without fail emphasizes consistency. If you say, "I exercise every morning without fail," it means you do it diligently, no exceptions. It highlights reliability and commitment.
Continuing with without fail, it seems like a great way to express dedication. Could you share a real life example where this phrase is impactful?
Sure, take my friend Lisa. She calls her grandmother every Sunday without fail. It's a ritual that shows her commitment to family. It's these small, consistent actions that strengthen bonds.
That's heartwarming. However, some might argue that such rigidity can lead to stress. What are your thoughts?
That's a valid point. While consistency is admirable, being too rigid can cause pressure. It's essential to balance reliability with flexibility to avoid burnout.
So, would you say there's a situation where without fail might not be the best approach?
Yes, in uncertain situations where adaptability is key. For instance, in a creative job, being too rigid could stifle innovation. Here, flexibility can be more beneficial.
Speaking of flexibility, let's explore be in divided by get into a state. How does this expression fit into emotional contexts?
This phrase captures heightened emotions, especially stress or panic. For example, if someone loses their keys, they might get into a state feeling overwhelmed and anxious.
And is this expression more common in certain cultures or regions?
Yes, it's particularly British. You'll hear it often in the UK, reflecting the cultural nuances in language. It's a vivid way to describe someone who's emotionally unsettled.
Let's dive deeper into be in divided by get into a state. It seems to really capture intense emotions. Have you observed this in any specific scenario?
Definitely. I recall a colleague who was in a state before a big presentation. Her nerves were high, but after deep breaths and a pep talk, she calmed down and delivered well.
That's a great example. However, could using this expression sometimes downplay serious issues?
It's possible. Saying someone is in a state might seem dismissive if they're facing genuine distress. It's crucial to recognize when someone needs support and not just a phrase.
So, in what context would this expression be most appropriate to use?
It works best in informal settings, among friends, to convey temporary stress or panic. For serious matters, more supportive language is advisable to offer empathy.
Switching gears, let's discuss if all else fails. It's such a versatile phrase, don't you think?
Yes, it's a great backup plan phrase. When you're out of options, if all else fails suggests a final, often simple solution, like ordering pizza if dinner plans fall through.
Haha, definitely relatable. But could it also imply a lack of preparation?
In some cases, yes. It can suggest someone didn't plan thoroughly. However, it's also a pragmatic approach, showing adaptability when things don't go as expected.
Let's discuss the strategic aspect of if all else fails. How does this expression offer a safety net in problem solving?
It's about having a contingency plan. For example, During an event, if the main speaker cancels, having a backup ensures the event proceeds smoothly. It's all about preparedness.
That's a smart approach. But what if someone relies too heavily on this phrase? Could it lead to complacency?
That's a risk. Over-reliance can encourage lax planning, assuming there's always a fallback. It's important to aim for thorough preparation, with if all else fails as a genuine last resort.
So, when would you suggest using if all else fails constructively?
In dynamic environments where unexpected changes occur, like tech startups, it offers flexibility, ensuring progress despite setbacks. It's about resilience, not avoidance.
Lastly, what future trends do you see in how these expressions are integrated into everyday English?
As global communication evolves, expressions like if all else fails will remain key in language for expressing adaptability and resourcefulness. They'll adapt with cultural shifts, but their core utility will persist.
That's insightful. Well, that wraps up our episode on making English sound natural. Thanks for joining us, Jane.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed our chat. I hope our listeners find these expressions useful in their daily conversations.
As we wrap up, let's consider the future of English expressions. How do you think these phrases will evolve with language trends?
I believe they'll continue to reflect social changes. For instance, as we embrace digital communication, expressions might adapt new forms, but the intent will remain to express clarity and emotion.
That's a valid point. With the rise of digital platforms, do you think written expressions will change drastically?
Yes, definitely. As texting evolves, brevity and clarity become crucial. Emojis and short phrases like "make sense" might see increased usage to convey tone and intent quickly.
Interesting. Could this shift affect how non-native speakers learn English?
Indeed, it might. Language courses may need to incorporate these evolving expressions to help learners navigate real-world conversations effectively.
So, what can language learners do to keep up with these changes?
Engaging with native speakers and consuming diverse media is key. Podcasts, movies, and social media can provide context for how expressions are used in current discourse.
That's great advice. Do you have any final thoughts on embracing these expressions?
Just remember, language is about connection. These expressions add color and personality to speech, making communication more relatable and effective.
Absolutely. All right, that's all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.